Let me tell you about the facts of life.
Take the good, take the bad, take them both. There you have facts of life. The facts of life. Take the good, take the bad.
Welcome back to another episode of Facts of Life. I'm your host, Zakia, and these are the facts of my life. And I have a special guest today who is joining me, a friend of the show. She's been on the show before. So we're going to get a quick update about her life. But before we get into our guest, I'm your host, Zakia, and these are the facts of my life. I don't know if I said that already. Please make sure that you are subscribing to the podcast on Apple, iHeart, Stitcher, Google Play. I think it's called Google Podcasts now. And Spotify. Make sure you are reviewing. And full episodes of the podcast will be on YouTube. So please subscribe to the YouTube channel, which I will leave the link in the description of the episode. And I'm going to let my guest introduce herself.
Hello, everyone. My name is Janae Lewis. I'm a hairstylist. I've been doing that for 20 years. I love it. And I am transitioning into the real estate world. It's going to be so lovely. I'm so excited to learn so much new information. Yeah. I have a son. He is 9, and we are out here. We are out here. I am out here just being an entrepreneur and surviving all this craziness.
Yeah, good for you. I'm glad that you're making it work. I know. Yeah. I don't know if you said it on the last time that you were here. It's been years since you've been on the podcast, but Janay is from Pittsburgh.
Yes.
I am. So you are definitely doing your thing out here. I'm proud of you. Because Pittsburgh is a long way from home.
It is a long way from home, okay?
Yeah, it's a long way from Texas. And you want to know what's funny? I was talking to this guy from Pittsburgh for a brief moment.
Really? Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it was like, he was so mean though.
What was his name? I probably know him.
His name was Jared.
Jared.
Yeah.
Was he light skinned?
Yes, he was light skinned.
I know one light skinned Jared, but I don't know his last name.
Okay, I don't even remember his last name.
Girl.
But he at the time he was still living in Pittsburgh. But I know when we had started talking, he was like in the transition to move to Maryland. So I don't know what happened after that. So
well, hopefully good things, of course.
Well, no, I ended up blocking him because he was yeah.
Never mind.
And I was just like, I was in a space where it was like I didn't feel like arguing with no niggas. So I'm just like, I had to block him. It was just But anyway, let's get into living my best.
Sometimes you have to do that.
Right? You got to. So let's get into living my best life. This is the part of the show where, me and the guests will go over what's been going on in our life as far as like the month, week, year. I know we're only in the second month of the year.
I know.
So for me, how I'm living my best life is I'm grateful that I could recognize when, my thoughts are like kind of going off the deep end, and I'm proactive about not letting it get too far. So I try to do things and reel myself back in, whether it's like, having a conversation with friends or just taking the time to just like silence my thoughts and just, be really proactive about like, okay, maybe we need to sit down and journal or spend some more time outside, whatever it is, to like collect my thoughts. So, I was having a moment about what happened at my job or whatever, like what went down with my job. And I was still, you know, dwelling on what happened. And it was just like, I was kind of spiraling a little, not like spiraling, but it was just like my thoughts just kept piling up and thinking about what happened. So, you know, I was able to turn it around. So I feel much better. I feel like I'm in a better space, you know, and trying to take it one day at a time for this new chapter of my life because I am turning 30 this year. So it's like I'm trying to, like, you know, unlearn some stuff and, you know, implement new practices in my life. And then we talked about that in the last episode, like, you know, caring too much about what other people think. And like that has been, you know, a downfall for me personally.
Girl,
You
I
know,
know. I
think
know
too much,
personally
care too
too.
much. Yeah. So we're working on it, baby steps. I'm just grateful. My friend, she came over last week for a couple of days with her and her children. And, you know, I thought I wanted to like have children really soon, like probably in the next couple of years. But after they came over, I'm like, okay, wait a little bit.
Yeah.
But it was great having them over here. But
Yeah.
I'm living my best life
Okay.
right now.
Okay. And everything sounds good.
Yeah, everything is
Oh.
good. So how are you living your best life? Give us an update on the last time you were on the podcast, which was some years now. So I know so many things have changed.
Oh, I've changed so much, as you should every year.
Right.
But like the last time I remember I was on your podcast, I was going through it. Okay. I was going through it. I am not the same person who I was, obviously, which is a good thing. I've grown so much more, matured, and just learned so much more, you know. But I figured it out, like you said, like I've been having to, I have my moments where I'm like, okay, I need to like binge. So like, let's say if I've been on a good eating diet, eating salads and things like that, I'll go on a binge, you know, because I'm just like, oh my gosh, you just deserve them times where you feel like crying, you feel like binging on junk food. You just want to just release whatever it is that you need to release, get it out. Because if you hold it in, it distracts you. It like blocks your brain from thinking of new shit, you know? So I feel like just let it out. If you just got out of a bad relationship, you know, if you know you need to get your shit together, like whatever it is that is like, okay, get it out. Be like, you know what? I really need to improve on my body. Eat bad for like the rest of the week. And then after that, just really just want to change, you know? So like, that's what I've been doing. I've just been wanting to take any bad habits or any habits that are not contributing to my future out of my life, especially financially. Like everything that I buy now is like, or everything that I do, I ask myself in my head, I'm like, is this going to be beneficial to me? Right. Because most, if not a lot of things that we have in our house, in our room, in our closet, we didn't even need. Right. Like we could live without it, you know? So it's just making me think about the future now. And because I have a son, it's not about me. You know, I've been selfish for a very long time, simply because all of my 20s, I was in a relationship and being a mother. Mm-hmm. And now that I'm doing my own thing and learning myself and continuously learning myself, but, you know, growing over these past 4 years, man, like, first of all, I talk so much, I forgot what I was about to say just now.
It's okay.
But, I hate when that happens. Oh my gosh. But I'm not the same person I was on your show the first time. I just want to grow mentally, spiritually, physically. I've been in the gym because the gym helps relieve stress. Yes. And reading books, as you can see, like, you know, just wanting to learn things all the time. It's not all about just your field. Like, you never know if you might be good at something else if you limit yourself to just one thing. I realized this year, 2021, I don't know if it's a shift. I believe it is. And luckily I'm a part of the crowd of people who finally get it. Like, you know what? Yeah, I don't care what other people think about me. I'm going to do what I feel like doing. I'm going to learn some new things. I'm going to learn things that people never think about wanting to learn. I'm going to read more books. I'm going to get to know self. You know what I mean? Like, that's what I'm doing right now. And that does include being segregated, or not segregated, because then you think about black and white, but like, you know what I mean? Like, just not being with other people.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Like, just, I don't want to be with y'all. Like, I can't, I don't want to go out with y'all. I don't want to hang around y'all. I don't really want to even jump in a conversation because y'all not talking about nothing.
Right. Yeah.
So it's like, well, what else could I be doing? I could be at home learning Spanish with the Spanish cards with my son. Like I've been doing. I know 1 through 10.
Right.
I know, I know some stuff. I know about 30 new Spanish words now in the last week. So, it's just all about improving your mind, because knowledge is really power.
Right.
I've never you can have nothing in this world, but your mind, like, you can be broke. Yeah, you can be broke today. But you know what? Everything was created by somebody, which made in turn the currency, the exchange, what you got back from the universe or whatever it is from God is money. But really, if you use your mind, you'll never be broke. Right. And so that's exactly where I'm at right now mentally. And I was not there mentally back then. I've grown so much more that I know how valuable my time is. And I know how powerful my mind is. And I know that we are humans one time. We don't know when we're going to die. So why don't we take advantage of every single day? When I wake up, I don't want to think about the negative. I want to think about how I can change whatever I feel like is a problem, because nothing is impossible. The only thing that is impossible is to be death. And we're all going to go there. So until then, everything else can be solved. So let me figure it out.
Yeah, right.
That's where I'm at.
Yeah, I love it. I'm glad that you're recognizing where you need improvement and you're working towards doing that, because some people, they won't even do that. And
I know
what you want for your life, and what you need to do to get what you want and you need for your life. And I'm really glad that you mentioned the whole financial thing, because that's something that I definitely want to be more intentional about this year too. Like I've worked on my finances, but I feel like I need to dig deeper when it comes to finances too, not just budgeting. Okay, it's a mental thing as well.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm definitely working on being intentional about that. And I definitely want to start, bringing financial tips and information to the podcast so people can have that, because I noticed that, stocks are becoming a big thing now. Bitcoin and cryptocurrency and Forex, and a lot of more people
investing your money in stocks and mutual funds and stuff like that. Girl, welcome to the third level. That's the 30-year-old stuff that we weren't caring about this in our 20s. Now when you get to your 30s, it's like stocks and bonds, investments.
Yeah. What? And you want to know what's funny? I bought this book after I graduated undergrad, and it was something about how not to be broke anymore. And one of the things in the book the lady talked about, I forgot the lady's name, the author's name. She did talk about stocks, but she wasn't talking about it in a way where I could understand it. And I didn't know anybody else that was talking about it at the time. So I kind of just moved on and let it go. You know what I mean? But I'm like, damn, maybe if I would have went a little harder back then, I probably would have invested. Yeah. I probably would have thousands of dollars invested by now.
I mean, but
yeah, I'm starting now. I'm willing to learn now. I feel like I'm in a better space in my life where I can receive the information. You know what I mean? So
exactly, yeah.
In due timing. I'm glad that everybody wants to do better, because with things that have been going on in the world, we just never know. And it's you got to be prepared for whatever, pretty much now.
Yeah. So, literally only the strong survive, like you hear all the time.
Yeah. For sure.
You know, survival of the fittest, dog eats dog world. It's a cold world. It's cold outside. Everything that we heard, the life ain't fair. You know, that was like the first thing we heard as a kid. Life is not fair.
Right.
Like, damn, for real? Y'all are serious. I thought y'all was like,
just joking. Yeah, no.
Girl, like
it's not. It is. It's kind of like it is what it is. You get what you get, and sometimes you can control what you get. You know, like we can be in control of that too. But sometimes,
yeah.
You just never know.
But the thing is, I feel like because like you said, we are in control, and I'm just at that point where I'm trusting the universe and I'm spirit guides. When I see numbers and things, 11, 11, 222, like whenever I see that number, I Google it or I already know what it means. But those are things that help me by in my life. Like I'm a part of my ancestors. Like I can really, you know, get a little deep into it, you know, but I'm learning so much about who we are as human beings.
Right.
It's not even funny, the things that I've learned and have been learning about who I am before I was dumbed down, before I was introduced to anything negative that can negatively impact my body. You know, who would I be if I was taught the things that I know now? And I don't even know a lot. Just what I know now, what could I have done with that information if I was like 12, you know? And it's like, dang, but you know, if you have the opportunity to be able to change, do it because what else are you doing? What else are people doing besides complaining? That's not going to change nothing. The people around you, it's not going to change their minds because birds of a feather flock together. You know, you around negative people, it's going to rub off on you because they ain't talking about nothing and you around them all day. So what are you going to do? You know?
You're going to possess the same energy. You're going to possess the same energy. But yeah, I agree. I definitely agree. So let's get into the facts about self-love and like embracing your femininity and sexy and whatever. There has been, I wanted to have you on for this because I feel like you do a great job of expressing yourself. And you're very beautiful, and so
Thank you.
I feel like you give great insight about, you know, this topic because it's been a lot of. I feel like there's always been chatter about women's bodies and like what we decide to do with it or what we don't decide to do. You know, like that has been a topic of discussion for years and years and years. And now it's being amplified because we have the internet, you know, and social media. So let's start off with the Busted Challenge. So I'm bringing these two challenges to light because, it's been most recent in social media. So the Busted Challenge, I think it started on TikTok and, you know, you have one look and then you transform into a more glamorous look, right? And
a bad bitch.
Okay. And so when you do that, you know, you're dancing and you're twerking, whatever, right?
Yeah.
And everybody loves it. Everybody's enjoying the Busted Challenge, whatever, especially men. And then comes the Silhouette Challenge, where right, and then comes the Silhouette Challenge, where you know women. I think it was created with women in mind. I don't know who created this challenge, but I think it was created with women in mind. And you know, it's the same concept. You have one look, and then you transition into another look, and the second look is a silhouette in red lights. Some people are naked, some people are not naked, right? And then all hell breaks loose. Oh, you shouldn't be on the internet naked, blah, 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 blah. All these different, you know, all this different backlash. Yeah, right? All this different backlash. And so my question is, do there were lots of applause for the busted challenge, but the silhouette challenge, there wasn't so much applause for. Why do you think that is?
There was more applause for this busted challenge than the silhouette challenge you said?
From what I saw, yeah, like, because when the silhouette challenge, I guess when people started discovering that, you know, the women were naked, it's like, oh, y'all doing too much or whatever, it's too much going on.
Okay.
Blah, blah,
Okay.
blah. It wasn't as supportive as the busted challenge, I will say.
People need to stop faking like they don't like sex. Sex sells. That's why sex is used in everything. And I'm gonna be completely honest, like, as far as sexuality goes, we all have sex. How do you think we got here? It's because our parents had sex. You know what I'm saying? That's just a part of us. We need to stop acting like we don't like freaky deaky stuff. Just like when people act like, just when people be like, you curse too much, and then want to go watch Friday on it. Like, come on, like, y'all. It's like people love the lies. They love to pretend and walk around like, oh, I'm just so conservative. And you lying. It just is what it is. We already, especially because most of us, we have to work. The majority of the population has to work, right? So you go to your job, you come home, you need to escape on top of your liquor and whatever else that you might do, you know? You want to escape. Yeah. Where's the first place that people go now to escape? The internet. Let the internet be the internet. We have, like, one other thing that I've realized about myself, and a lot of people have realized, a lot of people, not all, but you, like, this is real life, right? This is real life.
Yeah.
Well, for me, even though when people watch it's still on the internet. Yeah. But I have my real life, right? And then that's the side that don't nobody see on the internet. Then you got your internet life. That's your avatar. You are whoever you want to be on the internet. Not saying I'm fake, but at the same time, it's whoever I want to be, though.
Right.
Let me just entertain. That's what the internet is. The internet is a part of TV. The internet is a part of music. Like it's all intertangled within one. It's all entertainment. It's all the media.
Right.
We all go there for our enjoyment. Don't we all comment? We all like, we all subscribe to people. It's just entertainment. Like, I don't understand why one would get more love than the other, but people want to fake back off. Like, oh my God, no, that's too much. Or if anything happened, that's too much. Like, my thing is like, most people are followers.
Yeah.
If nobody said nothing about it, it wouldn't be a problem. Trust me.
Right.
Or there are people that don't say nothing. And like, if you have a problem with it, then just don't say nothing at all. Just keep it moving.
But, you know, people are not going to do that. And that's why I'm just like, you know, I don't even know, like, if I have like a real thought and opinion on it, like 100%. I think it's interesting that you said, you know, the internet is entertainment, and, you know, this is like your other personality, you know, because some people feel like, you know, if you're on the internet, like if you're doing these things on the internet, like you shouldn't do that because the internet is dangerous, and, you know, they have FBI or, you know, the government's on the internet, and it lasts forever or whatever. So what do you say to that? You know, when people feel like the internet is so permanent, and from what it sounds like, it's like you think like, okay, like this is fun and this is entertainment for me. Like, why do you feel like it's entertainment and not to be taken seriously?
Because when I walk out of my house, no matter however way you see me on the internet, when I walk out of my house, I'm going to be professional. I'm going to be civilized. I have morals. I'm regular. I'm going to the store, you know?
Right.
Social media is entertainment, period. Right. If I'm entertaining, or if for some reason I just have a large group of people that want to watch me, I must be doing something they like, and it might be paying me. So you know what? Let me go ahead and do that. Because especially the time that we live in right now, people are like, well, the internet this and the internet that, but I don't see nobody meeting up. We can't even meet up no more. You can't have more than a certain amount of people in large groups.
Yeah.
We have masks on. Don't nobody really want to talk to each other through no mask.
Right.
The internet is it. This is just how it's gonna be. That's why everything is DoorDash, everything is accessible from your house. At some point, it shows you, go watch Black Mirror. It has episodes where people don't even go nowhere. They just be in their house because they got a smart house.
Right.
Everything is, so create a personality online then.
Yeah.
It's a business. Like the internet, if you're not on the internet for making money, why are you on the internet?
Right.
You're on the internet wasting a whole bunch of time scrolling through, looking at other people either faking their life or they're actually living their life. Something you're not doing because you're not doing nothing.
Right.
I say if you use the internet, use it for entertainment purposes. Just to laugh real quick.
Look at it. That's a good way to look at it. Because I use the internet for
knowledge.
Yep. You can get knowledge from the internet, social media. Because I kind of use the internet or social media for, to promote my stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
And for me, I could do without it. You know what I mean? So that's why this year I was like, I want to, be more comfortable with showing, myself more on the internet. And because I only use it for business purposes, to me, and I would rather show my private life to my friends in private or whatever I'm doing in private. Or if I want to look good, I'd rather do it out in the public. You know what I mean? I'm not a person that, needs to live on the internet, but it's good. I'm glad that you made that point because I'm like, yeah, it makes sense because we are going into a virtual world, a lot of people, everybody's going to be working from home pretty much probably the rest of our lives. I don't know. But
pretty much.
It's funny because I was on Clubhouse last week and I was in this room with these guys from New York and I follow one of them on Instagram and Twitter or whatever. So we've been friends, internet, social media friends for a while now. But the name of the room was is Clubhouse the new Hinge or whatever? And then so we started going in to talk about how we want, he asked the girls how we wanted to be approached on Instagram and stuff. And I'm like, I don't even get approached on social media because I prefer to meet guys out in person. So I don't put a lot of effort into my social media. So I'm like, that makes sense why guys probably don't talk to me because I'm not really on the internet showing my life or a bunch of pictures. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, I agree that sex sells, and I think the silhouette challenge, I appreciate other women that do stuff like this because I can live vicariously through them.
I never had a problem with it. I seen it, I was like, oh, that's cool. But me, I'm like, I don't feel like putting all that effort in.
Yeah. I liked it. I enjoyed it. I don't have anything negative to say.
Me either.
Because I don't have the balls to do stuff like that.
I would, but I just didn't understand. Do people buy the red lights? I'm like, do y'all go and buy the red lights or?
No, they were saying it was a Snapchat filter, but I do know some people were saying that they had the red lights though. They had their own red lights, but you could have did it on Snapchat or something. I don't know. But yeah, I just thought it was interesting that, men flip so easily because it's usually men that are giving the backlash. Yeah, I don't get why they flip so easily when it comes to the relationship with them and women and how women portray on the internet, because I'll see some men say, oh, I would never let my girlfriend do stuff like that or whatever. And then on the other hand, you have men that are just I don't really care, It's her life. She look good or whatever. I fucks with it. So it can be confusing. You know what I mean? Because it's like they'll pretend like they don't like it, but they really do like it. You know what I mean? And it gets confusing. And I'll speak for myself, you know, because I remember I was dating this guy, and this is a perfect segue into like the whole Chloe thing. But I was dating this guy, right? And a part of me was doing things, you know, just so that I could be with him. Like I was trying to look a certain way, I was trying to dress a certain way, trying to talk a certain way, you know, just so that I could be with this nigga, right? And when we kind of had like the talking, like it was coming to an end, you know, and he was talking to some other girl out here or whatever. And she was like the complete opposite of, and he was like saying how he did, like I remember when we first met, he was saying like how he didn't like talking to these type of girls, you know, like that got long nails, that got eyelashes and weaves and all this other stuff. And he ended up talking to this girl that has all of this stuff or whatever. And I'm just like, what was the purpose? You know, like if y'all really like this shit, like why do you think men do that?
I feel like men don't know what they want. I feel like they want everything. They want their cake and eat it too. I feel like all I've ever known in my reality is men want what they want plus more. They're never satisfied. If you can, all you got to do is just tell me, look in this shoe closet. Look in this closet, look at his shoes. Do we got one pair of Jordans, same pair of Jordans in every single color? Oh yeah, just like a female. He can get the same female that do everything for him, but then he gonna get used to it and be like, I want something new, different color.
Right.
Same thing, different color. Like what? No, like y'all want to be greedy, y'all. And then my thing is like, that's why I'm just at a point in my life where I don't live my life for men no more. I'm not looking for validation from a man no more because they can't give it to you. Only you can give it to you. And that's so true. And it took me all my life because I just realized that within like the past 6 months for real. I've always known, but I didn't.
So what made you like, what made it click and change for you?
Because every time you get involved with a man and they say they're going to do things and don't come through, and that just repeatedly happens over and over again, it's like, how many times am I going to just put all my trust into someone? You can't. I'm not putting my trust in nobody. And I'm single today. You know, I don't dislike men or anything like that. But my main concern is when you're a young lady, fresh out of high school, in early 20s, up until like 25, or even just say up to 30. It don't matter. You know, men want to be players because that's what society tells them they should be, or that's what their dads tell them. You know, that's usually where they get it from, is the dads. So they play all the women when they're young, and then by the time they want to settle down, all the women that they played are heartbroken. And now you're asking questions like, well, what's wrong with you? How come you don't trust me?
Right.
Why is it like, what's wrong? You don't want to open up. You don't, because I'm tired of putting my hand on a hot stove.
Yeah. No.
And getting burned every time, you know? And people say, you hear it, oh, you should just, you know, always just keep trying. How many times though?
Yeah.
To the point where you do have a wall. Right. That's why you have security. Okay. That's why you got gates. That's why you got locks and, you know, gate codes.
Right.
So you can protect the community, which is your heart, you know?
Right.
Girl, please, these men don't know what they want. They like you said, to answer your question, I talk so much, I probably just could have answered it this way. Men, they say they want you to be natural and all that, but then when you be natural, they don't want natural. Then, because when you're natural, they looking at the chick with the wigs and the lashes and the long nails and the BBLs and all that. Then when you get the lady with the BBL, she can't cook.
Yeah.
She can't do stuff. She got bad credit, but she look good.
Yeah.
And they're like, now I want my my other chick back. The one that like, what do you want? You can't, what do you want?
No, that makes sense. And like, I'm asking because like, I feel like, you know, Chloe, I think she's about 22, maybe 22 or 23. And like, I kind of noticed that, you know, she started kind of like popping her hip a little more like during quarantine and stuff. And like, I could see it coming out of her. So it's like when they, you know, got their separate pages, when Chloe and Halle got their separate pages and she started showing, you know, more skin and, you know, more of her butt or whatever, you know, it wasn't a surprise to me. And then, you know, the world started to catch on and she got a lot of backlash, which I don't feel like she deserved any. And, you know, because it's like she's just living her life, like she said in her live, you know, this is who she is. And like, I wonder if, you know, other women, well, I'm pretty sure other women are going through this, you know, where it's like, you know, you want to be, you know, you want to express yourself the way that you want to express yourself. But it's like, as soon as you do it, you know, you feel ashamed or people try to shame you into like covering up and, you know, or you can't do that. Oh no, like you're never going to get a job or whatever it is. And, what was I going to say? Why do you think people are upset about, you know, Chloe expressing herself the way that she feels like is right for her life and her personality?
Because there's always going to be people that dislike you. It just happened that she focused more on the negativity and not the positive, because I've seen a lot of positive comments too. That's why everybody's on her page looking, because she looked good. Because if she didn't look good and nobody cared, nobody would be talking about her. So y'all talking about her, but it happened that she highlighted the negative.
It was a plus.
She focused on more the negative, I believe. Right. And I believe that people are, I guess those are just the people that grew up in church all their life. Right. I guess those are the extra conservative people.
Right.
I guess those are the people that
grew up in church, you know, like, and so that's why, you know, when we talked last week, I'm like, you know, I'm in a space where it's like, I'm trying to navigate how to like embrace my body as a young woman. Because like growing up in church and like having, you know, people in the church, it's like, okay, you have to cover yourself. You know what I mean? Like, it wasn't like OD at my church, but I think it was in my subconscious, and like that subconsciously, like, you know, my mom would make comments too, like, you know, you can't be showing all your goods or whatever. Like, you got to leave some mystery. So like subconsciously, I kind of cover up, you know what I mean? Yeah. But I definitely, and another reason why I cover up is because, you know, I don't like the attention from men, like, especially if I don't like you, you know, and I can't control what they say or do. I can't tell them not to talk to me. You know what I mean? I mean, I could, but who's doing that? You know what I mean? Like, who wants to be doing that? So it's like, how do you think women that grow up in those type of environments, like, how do they make the transition and like stop hating on, like, because I'm not hating on other women. Like, I really love seeing Chloe do her thing. Like, it's inspiring me. I haven't done it yet, but it's inspiring me to like want to like live in my truth and be okay with like being sexy. You know what I mean? So how do you think like women find that happy medium?
You got to just do it, honestly. Like, there's no thinking about what other people think. You're gonna die. Like, I don't know how much more. I don't know what else to say, guys. You're gonna die. You're gonna be dead one day and you're not gonna come back. So are you trying to live for you, or are you trying to live for other people? There's gonna be a period of time, hopefully not the whole time, and then you realize it on your deathbed, like, dang, I should have did what I wanted to do, but by that time it's too late. So hopefully you have the opportunity to be able to still live your life. If you realize, hey, am I living for you or am I living for me? You can't disappoint yourself when you make yourself happy. If you can do everything that, even though I do, and that's another topic, like, I do believe that, you know, a man is supposed to provide and protect and take care of his woman and all that. But like, at the same time, you're still you're different. Like, you're, even if you're in a relationship, I'm a separate entity. I am my own person, you
Yeah.
know? And that's why there's a, like, what, 1% of people who actually think outside the box and are successful in this world because they think outside the box. You want to do what everybody else do and be secure and be, I'm gonna do enough, but not enough for people to talk about me and judge me. It's because
Yeah.
people are scared of judgment. Guess
Yeah.
what? Jesus was judged and they still nailed him on the cross.
Right.
So
A lot of
it
times
don't matter.
right. A lot of times when you're afraid of being judged is because I'm learning this too, that you're judging yourself. You know what I mean? Like you're
Yep.
really judging yourself. You thinking about other people judging you, but it's like you're the one that's in your head, like, oh no, don't do that. No, you
Mm-hmm.
way, you're gonna look like a slut or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Or niggas not gonna want to fuck with you because you on the internet. Like, that's what I be going back and forth with, and then I be thinking like, oh shit, like, my mom may see this or my brother may see this, so it's definitely like it's a thin line, with the whole like, you want to be out on the internet, but at the same time, like, you want to be cautious of your future, but at the same time, it's like you ain't gonna have this body forever. So it's like you might.
And what if you don't have a future? You don't know when you're gonna die. Yeah, you're right. You don't know how long. You're not gonna be looking like this forever. So let me put this down so I can, when I'm 100, if I make it, then go Google me and see what I look like. I look good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
No,
Second off,
that's a fact.
yeah, like, come on, like, what do I look like being like, you know what, you're right. I'm not going to show my body off, even though I go to the gym and eat salads and drink water and take my vitamins every day, just to what? Keep it covered.
Right.
I'm not walking out in the streets like that. This is where people need to understand that the internet is a money-making opportunity, period.
Right.
Knowledge and money maker, okay? If your body look good, go to the internet and figure out how to make some money off of it so you can invest it in the real world where you can go outside in a suit and nobody will ever know.
I love how you look at it like that, because a lot of people don't look at it that way, where it's like, I can make money off of this, and one day I want to have a girl from OnlyFans on the show too, because like I think it's a great creative way to make money, and OnlyFans isn't just for
sex
things, you know what I mean? Like you can put whatever on there. It's similar to having a Patreon account,
It is like a Patreon. Yeah.
You know what I mean? But people make the choices that they want for whatever is best for their life or whatever works for them. So I say go for it. But yeah, and then I really want to talk about like self-love too, because I saw this question on the internet. Does self-love equal showing your naked body? This is what they said off on social media. Is that self-love? Because the men on the internet say that, that's women's excuse of having self-love is to show off their body on the internet. So what do you think about that?
First of all, who is a man to tell you what to do with your body? Why do we put men on such a high pedestal? Why do we always have to answer to a man? Mm-hmm. Why do we need a man for validation? Mm-hmm. So to answer that question, yes, I have self-love because I work so hard on my body. Once again, I look good. I take care of myself. I pride in like you. Yeah. Okay. Y'all better recognize and not walking around being conceited. You know, it's just when I go out in public and I carry myself in a certain way, I feel good. I look good. I'm happy. It just all goes with like taking care of your body mentally, physically, spiritually, in all types of ways. And somebody acknowledging it. That's like, well, okay.
Words of affirmation.
Huh?
That's a words of affirmation.
Yeah, really. Like, so, when men try to tell women, oh, that's just an excuse for, I think men are just angry because they want to be with the women that show off their bodies on the internet. They want to be with them. That's why how do they not know about them if they don't see them all the time? They must be following them.
Right.
Would they want somebody that, like, no, I'm sorry. It's just people need to be honest, okay? You like to see nice bodies and beautiful people. It's nothing wrong with that. I wish people would just, not even wish, I don't even care. But I appreciate the people who do just see nice body it's like art. It's like art.
And that's why I'm like, it's confusing for women, you know, like, and it's not just, you know, it's things that have been passed down from generations where it's like, you know, you shouldn't do that. And, you know, so it's confusing where it's like, you know, your perspective is like, and I'm not saying like anybody is wrong or right, because people could say or do whatever they want, but your perspective, which I like, is like, okay, you know, I have this body, I work really hard for it, I want other people to see it, and I want compliments, or, you know, or I want to show, you know, what I've been working on inside, and I want to help another woman be confident, or, you know, express herself whatever way she sees fit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, so I could respect that. And then it's like, you know, on the other hand, you have men saying, oh yeah, I really like it, and I don't like it. And it's like, okay, so which one is it? Pick one, you know, like, because there could be different, right, and there could be different expressions of self-love. And my thing with the whole, like, you know, modesty thing is like, you know, it doesn't really matter what you wear, you know, because men
are going to undress you with their eyes, period.
Yeah, they're going to, and they're sexual. Yeah. We're all sexual beings. And so it's like, you know, if I'm covered or if I'm not covered, there's going to be a man that is possibly thinking about having sex with me. And I'm not trying to be arrogant, but
yeah.
Because they
have doesn't matter what you wear. Like,
sometimes men don't have control over themselves when it comes to sex. And that's why it's like, does it really matter? You know, are you really upset that I'm on the internet, you know, showing my ass or my titties or whatever I decide to show? Like, are you really mad? Like, or, you know, I think it's a control thing too.
Or are you insecure?
Yeah. A lot of men are insecure. I was kind of like talking about that. Well, I didn't say it, but I was thinking about that. Like, you know, I was thinking about the relationship with, you know, men and women when it comes to like the bedroom. And why do women always have to initiate, you know, spicing up the bedroom in some way with adults,
with like toys and lingerie and stuff like that?
Yeah. And somebody said that the reason why men don't initiate is because they're insecure, and, you know, they're trying to, like, you know, have this ego, uphold this ego or whatever. And I'm just like, it's not helping us. You being insecure and not being honest about, you know, where you are in your life, you know, like, because we thinking one thing and then you thinking another thing. And it's like, but you really like that shit. I don't like that shit. I don't like that. So
communication is key to me. And that's where the problem lies. Communication. That's where the problem lies. Get it? Communication. Because people be lying. People lie and they're not honest.
Right.
People lie so much. For what? There's only two types of people in this world that are honest. And it's babies and old folks.
Yeah.
Because old folks about to die. So they're like, I'm about to just say what I want to say before I dip out. Young kids are like,
what I want.
Yeah, exactly. And young kids are like, they don't know no better. All they know is the truth. So, and then everybody in the middle just got a lot to kick it like Craig. And it's just messing everybody up because we lying all in the middle. Here we were as young, old, and in the middle. Now we lying. That's why there's so much going on right now. And then by the time we need to get it together right now, men, women,
Yeah, I think we need to do. I agree. I think we need to do a better job at communicating and like really unpacking our feelings behind certain things because it's like you think that I feel like a lot of times when you don't have enough information about something, you think you may feel that way, and then when you gather more information, your mind may change because like that's how I'm feeling right now about the whole expressing my femininity thing. Like I had an idea of what it was supposed to look like, especially like when I was living with my mom and I was so close to my family, and I was going to church at the time. I don't go to church anymore. So, I had a different idea of what things look like and how women should be dressing and what we should be doing and what we shouldn't be doing. And now that I'm about to turn 30, I'm like, bro, I have a nice body. You know what I mean? Like,
who created these clothes though? Right. They didn't ask me if I wanted to wear them. Did you ask me if I wanted to wear this dress down to my knees and my ankles?
Yeah, nobody. See? That's a good point. Nobody asks us. Nobody has asked me, like as a woman, as a young lady, like, do you want to do this? Like, that's a good point. Nobody asks us. So,
they told you. They just told us this is how it should be. And that's where with school, and that's the dress codes for work, they tell you what you need to wear. They tell. So that's where we need to unprogram our minds, reprogram.
Yeah, that's a good point. Unprogram, reprogramming. And so now that I'm getting older, I'm just like, I'm seeing the world differently now. And like, I want to express myself differently. I don't know how. Me too. I didn't get all the way there yet, but I'm just like, because I'm getting to the point where it's like, no, I don't want to care about what other people think. If I want to be popping my ass, I ain't popping my ass yet, but if I want to be twerking on the internet, like it's okay to do that. You know what I mean? Like it's okay to do whatever. Like that's
it really is.
That's how I'm feeling right now. It's okay.
Well, my thing is I think about it like this. Every time I sit back, and even if I think about, well, what are people going to think of me? First of all, it holds me back, right? It holds me back.
Yep.
I've held myself back for so long that I'm not even disappointed. I'm not doing it no more. Just know that.
Yeah.
And like, oh my gosh.
It's okay.
Don't be mad. I forgot what I was about to say. Wait, refresh my memory before I started going on a tangent
about holding people. You're not holding yourself back anymore because you don't want to care about what other people think.
Yeah. Wait, hold on. I was going somewhere with this. Oh my gosh.
Okay.
Yeah, you if you hold yourself back, if you care about what other people think, you hold yourself back.
Right.
And you don't move anywhere. You don't go anywhere. You just stay stagnant. Because it's like you're waiting for somebody to knock on the door and be like, okay, it's time for you to do this now. Also, like, girl, why do I keep having these moments where I just be forgetting what I'm about to say?
I don't know, but here's what I'll do.
I think amnesia is creeping up on me.
It's okay. Okay, say, for example, young Janay came to visit you. Teenage Janay came to visit you. What would you say to her? Like, what would be 5 things you would say to her?
Man, oof.
And just think of it as like, a young lady is listening to this and she is thinking about, doing something similar to what Chloe is doing, but expressing herself in her own right. Like, what would you say to that person?
Honestly, be comfortable with yourself and your body and your image. Because once you're comfortable with that, then when people come and criticize you, it doesn't mean anything.
Yeah.
Second off, be careful. Mm-hmm. You're going to have a lot of people that approach you on the internet that's going to tell you they're going to do things or send you things or whatnot, be careful.
Yeah.
Be careful, sex trafficking and all that's real.
Yeah.
People on the internet. I've been like, I've flew down to Florida one time when I was like 18 or not. And excuse me, my throat's dry. But I flew down there and it was like, because I wanted to sing at some point. So I'm like, I want to go to the studio down there and people in the industry and you have a studio, just being all young and naive. And I went down there and he was trying to sell me for money.
Wow.
No. Excuse me. So
I'm
luckily
learn that lesson. Easy.
I will tell my younger self definitely to just be careful of strange danger. Third thing would be save your money. Save lots and lots of money. All them weaves that you bought. Now, if I could sit here and talk to myself, I'd be like, in the future, for the next 10, 12 years, you're going to be buying a lot of hair extensions. Save it. Braid your hair up. Let it grow out real long like that. Save your money, okay? So that you can go to beauty school, so that you can open up your own, like entrepreneurship. Like that's what I would love to tell myself that. Things that I had to learn on my own, but luckily I know it now. But man, what if you ever think about like if you could go back and the things you know now, if you could have knew like 10 years ago, oh man. But
I would probably be much further along.
Oh, I would. But if you think about it, that's what make the people that go through the most but still end up getting to where they want to get are the strongest people ever.
Yeah.
Not the people that got it handed down to them, not the people that was born with a silver spoon in their mouth, which mean more connects because they don't gotta work hard. They don't gotta work hard like we do. Yeah. Start from scratch, So entrepreneurship, and then what was that for? Yeah. And then because it will save money, entrepreneurship. And then the last one would be leave these men alone.
Period.
What? Like, you can go out on dates. That's it. Just get yourself together first.
That's a good one because, a lot of us are, not every woman, but a lot of us are in a rush to like have boyfriends and stuff. And I'm like, if it was me, if I was younger, I probably wouldn't date until like I was 25. Like,
I
really would not have dated if I would have known what I
dated or had sex. Okay.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah. Because it's not even that serious. Like,
yeah, right. But it's like we live in such a hyperactive sexual world. I don't know what it is. And I'm like watching all these, shows now, and I'm like, do teenagers, and like I was watching All American and Euphoria, and I'm like, do teenagers really have that much sex? And I'm like, I think that we did. Like, I wasn't having that much sex in high school, but like sex was like a huge thing though. Like it was like almost like the center of our lives in a way. It was weird.
I made it through high school without all that, but after high school, that's when I started getting into relationships.
Yeah. Don't do it, ladies. But that was some good advice, some good tips. Yeah, and I wanted to have this conversation, with the podcast because, we're having more and more of these conversations, and it's like, women are shaming other women. So I'm just here to like open up the dialogue and get like more understanding, as to like why women are doing the things that we're doing, because men think it's for them, and we just want to like be us and be ourselves and like, and not feel ashamed for it. So I'm grateful that you came on the show to have this conversation with me. And, I hope that women, if you're in that space and area of your life where it's like, you feeling like you want to burst out and pop out in a dance, do that shit,
yeah.
Or whatever. I don't even
Who's gonna walk past and tell you no, you can't do that? Like, what? What do you mean? Right. Who are you? Who really are you? Right. And how will you ever matter in my whole entire life?
Right. So express your self-love the way that you see fit. Build up that confidence if you haven't. Like, I feel like confidence it's an ongoing thing and it takes time, but you know, if you're not feeling as confident, like you really have to figure out like what you like. I think that's another thing, like figuring out what you like and standing up in that shit and, you know, being unapologetic.
Apologetic.
Yeah.
Yes.
If you like anime, like that shit.
Yeah. Hold up. I notice a lot of especially black men that love anime.
Yeah, no, they do. They really do. It's
Yeah.
I didn't realize it. I'm not big on anime, but if you are, I support you.
I'm not. But like, you know, the last anime I saw was like Powerpuff Girls and them. You know?
Or Pokemon. I can't remember.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I just encourage all women, even men, to like just do you and do what's best for you. You know, if you're like me, you're turning 30 soon, like this is the season of your life. This is a new decade of your life. So you set the tone for
I
this.
know.
You know, you set the tone for the next 10 years. Like this is a whole new like
I know. The 30s,
like,
honestly, them are like your 20s. Think about it. Your 20. Okay. Since you were born up to like 20 years old, you was babied by your parents or whatever, right? You're being taken care of more than likely by somebody. In some cases, people got to take care of themselves a little earlier, but whatever, right?
Yeah.
But when you get into your 20s, that's when you feel like you're an adult.
Right.
No, you're not. You're not an adult. You're still a young child, really. Like you're a young, not a young child, but like you're a young child compared to somebody that is like 50 and 60. They like, oh, you little baby. You a little baby. Okay. They're like, you don't know nothing. You haven't been through stuff. You need to go through experiences. That is the truth. All through your 20s, all through my 20s was all experiences. I've lost, I've won, I lived, you know? Now I'm in my 30s. It's like, all right, it's crunch time.
Yeah,
you learned your lessons.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Like now you got to apply them lessons. Yep. And you'll still learn some along the way, but I'm not going to learn the lessons that I learned in my 20s. Because if I'm still doing the same things I'm doing in my 30s from my 20s, then how am I going to move to my 40s? And by that time, okay, who got time to be trying to reconstruct their life in their 40s? And I'm not saying there's a time where your life should be all the way together, because it could start at 45. It don't matter. Yeah. But why are we waiting? Why are we waiting?
You want to elevate. You want to continue to elevate in your life. I understand. So
like today, like every day, you know? Mm-hmm. And that's what I'm realizing every single day. It's like, what else am I doing if it's not beneficial? What am I doing if it's not beneficial?
Right. Yeah, for sure. I support that 100%. So let everybody know where they can find you.
You can find me on Instagram. You can find me at Gemini Tresses. You can check out my website as well. Check out my work at www.geminitresses.com. Let's see, what else?
She does great work, guys.
My YouTube too. You can check out my YouTube. I'm natural now. Like I've been growing my hair out for the past year and a half. Actually, it's a year and a half, like a week ago. Yeah. And so I'm documenting my natural hair journey. I have these little mini braids in right now. People are like, are you going to lock them? I'm like, I want to, but then I'm like, it's like no turning back.
So tiny. Your hair is so tiny that I feel like you could braid it and you could still do wigs. I've seen some girls with locks that still wear wigs. I don't know how.
I did. I put a wig on already. I braided it and put a wig on, but like I love my natural hair. Like I just want to give my natural hair a chance for once in my life. Like I really love my natural hair.
It looks so good. I love it.
Thanks.
I love it. She does great work. So thank you again for coming on to the show.
You're welcome.
I hope that this liberated and freed somebody today. Again, make sure that you are subscribing to the podcast, leaving a review. Let me know what you think. And I will talk to you guys another time.
Yes.